Hello, everyone, and welcome. We're so excited today. We have the Director of Engineering for Roush Fenway Racing, Nick Sandler, with us. Nick, we really appreciate you joining us as we look ahead to the Richmond race this week. So I just want to start off within your role. What does your week look like preparing for each one of these unique racetracks we go to on the NASCAR circuit?
Yeah, so obviously it's one of the fun things about this job is that the every week you have a different challenge in front of you, and we I like is from the engineering side to be trying to look ahead, several weeks out and working on the cars to try and bring the build and bring the best piece to the racetrack for those races. But then also a portion of my week is we every week that we go to the track, there's usually something to be learned or some issue that arises, and so some of the week is also spent kind of addressing uh, things that we've learned from the previous race and making sure that we address that for the upcoming events.
So, how much of what you're doing is looking ahead a couple weeks to, the next few races versus trying to figure out any last minute adjustments that can be made to the cars for this week?
Um, ideally, we're spending more of our time looking ahead. The goal is that we're always working to improve the cars and make the cars better, so that every week that we show up, we're taking a car that is better than what we would have taken a week ago. And so certainly, if everything goes well, more of our time is spent looking ahead at each track. Usually, you know, several weeks in advance and working on car build items or testing that we can do to make the cars better. And then up until the week of that event, the focus is more on things that you change the week of. So a lot more on the setup side of things and and actually the final preparation for taking the car to the track that week.
So, how much are you working with sort of the race day engineers, the guys who are at the track? Are you talking to them throughout the weekend if there is practice, or during the race if it's a one-day show? Just trying to see what they're seeing from that perspective there at the track.
Um, some, I mean, we try and certainly when when the teams are off at the track working on the cars, we always want to make sure that there's a line of communication back to the shop that we can be addressing any issues that arise and obviously having offering help and assistance from uh, from the shop when we can. Obviously the more of your team that you have accessible, even beyond the folks that are actually there at the racetrack, the more powerful we are as a race team. Um, so so certainly we have a lot of things in place to make that communication uh, more effective and easy, and there is a fair amount of information flowing both ways during a race weekend.
So you've been both a lead engineer on a team and a crew chief for the 17 team. Do you think that gives you a more comprehensive perspective as to what to look for as the engineering department's looking at what challenges to tackle and how you tie that together to the team that has their boots on the ground each weekend?
I think so. I think having that perspective of of the team that's at the track, kind of in the trenches, so to speak, and looking at it through that lens of making sure that um, that when we send something, for example, something new to the racetrack on the cars, that we're really thinking ahead to all the information and the possible issues that'll arise, and making sure that the guys at the track are well prepared and well supported from the engineering side.
So I want to shift focus to Richmond specifically a little bit. It's a short track, but it's certainly unique from some of the others. It doesn't quite have the beating and banging of a Martinsville. It's more banked than a Phoenix. What specifically are you looking for to give the teams the greatest advantage they can have heading into this Richmond race?
Yeah, Richmond is. I mean, you're right. Richmond is a very unique track. It's it is oftentimes characteristics of your car in terms of the way it needs to handle at Richmond are they're similar to a lot of short tracks, but it's got its own challenges. Typically traction on acceleration is a really big challenge at Richmond. And it's one of those places where you really fight to make your car have good acceleration, keep the tire longevity on it for a full run. It's a challenge.
So, in any given race weekend, you're trying to balance a number of factors, the aero, the drag, the downforce, tires, all of that. Is there any one of those particular areas that you think is more important than the others at Richmond, or that stands out more at Richmond than the others?
Um, Tire management at Richmond is very important. It's hard for me to say that there's any one thing those that is more important. It's the way racing is as competitive as it is. You have to be good in all the areas to have an advantage. So there's not really one of those things that we lose focus on. But at Richmond, it does sort of challenge you in a lot of areas. You have to have good braking. The handling has to be good. You have to have good cornering capability, maximize the use of your tires. You are still going fast enough that aerodynamics matter for getting through the corner quickly, um, and then tire longevity. Just long runs at Richmond tend to burn tires off, and you'll see guys that can start a run really quickly and fade really fast, and to be able to keep a car good on a long run at Richmond is a challenge.
Awesome. So there's a lot to look out for everyone this weekend as we head to Richmond. Nick, thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy schedule here to talk to us as we get ready for the race this weekend.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.